Hello all, and welcome to our webinar on StormRunner Load. With us today is Israel Ogoza, StormRunner Load's functional architect, and myself, Lior, from the COS team. As with all our webinars, we encourage you to ask questions during the sessions, as our R&D representatives are standing by and are ready to answer any question you'd like to ask. Please remember to forward your questions to everyone in the WebEx chat window and not privately to PLV Cost, as the others will not see it. So please, to everyone, and all will be able to answer. But if your question remains unanswered during the webinar, fear not, as we are collecting all questions and will publish them along with the slide deck, recording, and the Q&A doc. We'd like to start with a quick review of our performance engineering solutions. LoadRunner is the market-leading testing software for more than 20 years and has everything you need to test the performance of diverse application types. It is easy to use, comprehensive, affordable, and used by more than 10,000 customers worldwide. LoadRunner also has the largest community of performance testers and performance engineers. Performance Center is built on top of LoadRunner. It enables enterprise and global application performance testing with standardized processes and resources to create a testing center of excellence. It provides advanced capabilities such as anomaly detection, trending, and resource reservation. It has multiple integrations with third-party tools for scripting as well as monitoring. This webinar will focus on StormRunner Load, which is the latest addition to the performance engineering portfolio, a homegrown solution that we started way back in 2014. StormRunner, or SRL for short, is a cloud-based performance testing solution, enhancing our performance testing toolset. It complements LoadRunner and Performance Center as a true SaaS solution and is built to be a highly scalable and cost-effective by harnessing the cloud. In 3 words, StormRunner Load is simple, smart, and scalable, or the 3 S's as we like to call it. It is simple and especially easy to use and get started with. A SRL novice can easily create and run a load test in a matter of minutes. Load testing experts, such as yourself, will save the effort and trouble of buying and setting up hardware and will be able to focus on performance testing, the important part of your job. It is smart. StormRunner provides insight and analytics in real time. Capabilities such as anomaly detection, warning for SLA violations, trending, and the ability to drill down into a specific geolocation are all available from the instant the test starts running and in offline mode as soon as the test finishes. And it is scalable. StormRunner allows running extremely high-scale tests without worrying about getting enough hardware available for the test. Now I'm talking about like 2 million web vusers test or a 10,000 true client vusers test from real-world geographical locations, all set up in a matter of minutes. The success of your business is tightly linked to delivering high-quality applications. If you don't deliver, your company's reputation and bottom line will suffer. Performance engineering solutions from Micro Focus emulate real-world conditions so you can test end-to-end performance throughout the entire application lifecycle and automatically detect and fix issues before launch. As discussed, we have 3 solutions that will ensure your application meet the user demands. It does not matter what type of application you need to test, where the application is located, who is the person behind the tool, or what's your deployment type, or even your budget preferred license consumption. We have a solution that fits your need. I'd like to guide you through a quick resolution tree that will help us to identify when StormRunner Load can be used, either for a separate or a new project, or as a complement of LoadRunner and or PC, Performance Center, which is the approach many customers are using these days. The first step is to identify the type of application we will be testing. StormRunner is oriented to test web and mobile applications mainly. We've recently added more protocol support and we are always adding more in the future releases. However, if you are testing any other application, just remember that LoadRunner and PC support more than 50 different protocols, including Citrix, COM/DCOM, RDP, PC over IP, Java, just to mention a few. This step is very important because it will give us a clear path to follow. The second question is, where will the test be executed? If the test can only be executed on-premise due to security reasons or the application of the test is not external, then again, LoadRunner or PC is the right choice here, as you will have the environment in-house. Here, of course, there are some differences between features, capabilities, and licensing in terms of LoadRunner/PC. However, if the test can be executed directly on the cloud, on demand, and you would like to move fast and act more independently, then StormRunner Load is the excellent option here. Once we have a clear understanding of the type of application that will be tested and where the test will be executed, we are ready to select the correct tool. If you want to test on-premise, then use LoadRunner and PC. Curious fact, we have been leaders in the market for more than 20 years now, and we are very proud of this achievement. Both LoadRunner and PC offer a rich protocol setup and top-class analytics. Performance Center, on the other hand, is built for enterprise customers. PC integrates with ALM and supports collaboration between teams by sharing assets such as machine, scripts, scenario, licenses, and so on. PC also provides advanced usage reporting capabilities. If you want to test from the cloud, on demand, fast, and serving agile teams, if your main goal is to test web and mobile applications from different geographic locations, StormRunner Load is the tool for you. And remember, it is simple, smart, and scalable. A little on the product roadmap. We have LoadRunner PC, like mentioned, and very proud that we are still the market leader for the past 20 years. We were able to keep this position as leaders. And what are we going to do to keep this category? Introduce new features, improving our customer satisfaction, and of course, helping to decide which tool suits best your needs. LoadRunner and PC will focus on DevOps-oriented features to make central IT more agile, but also we are investing on simplification and also modernization, enhancement requests, quality, stability, and making the life of the performance engineers easy. The protocols team, that we know as ViewGen, will release cutting-edge features for all three products. The team is moving extremely fast in order to keep up with the latest and greatest in terms of technologies. On this area, there will be a lot of efforts toward modernizing all our scripting solutions. Finally, StormRunner Load will be leading the implementation in terms of the cloud and SaaS delivery, mastering the ability to scale to more than 2 million virtual users just by clicking Run, while at the same time providing enterprise features. I would like to emphasize that we are investing on all three solutions. We recently released version 12.55 of both LoadRunner and PC with remarkable features such as anomaly detection and the ability to execute JMeter scripts as part of your scenarios. We also deliver webinars to share all these details about the release. And just let us know if you need more details. StormRunner Load is developed in an agile way, and we are releasing every 6 to 8 weeks. So take a look at your StormRunner Load instance. There are maybe some new features which you are not aware of. The product is being enhanced very rapidly, and today we will bring you up to speed with the latest release. So stay tuned, there are exciting stuff ahead. Now I will move the floor to Israel, StormRunner Load's functional architect, who will guide you through StormRunner Load. Israel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lior. So my name is Israel Rogoza, and I'm the functional architect of StormRunner Load. So let's dive into StormRunner Load. StormRunner Load, as we love to call it, is based on the three S's: simple, smart, and scalable. Simple, because you can create and run a test in less than 10 minutes. Smart, because you can see seeing results in less than 5 seconds. And scalable, just recently we add the support we extend the support to 5 million concurrent users. 3 years ago, we just celebrated the 3 years ago, the 3 years birthday to StormRunner Load, and at the beginning we start with 1 million, and today we support up to 5 million concurrent users. So, how does it work? StormRunner is a SaaS cloud solution. It means that you can run a test in less than 10 minutes. How do you start? You log into your tenant, you upload a script, you set the scenario and the amount of time and users you want to run. You choose where to run the test. We rely on Amazon and Azure regions to create the environment for the test. And once you click on the run test, we will spin up and create a machine dedicated to your tests, and you will start seeing results in less than 5 seconds. For customers who can't work with SaaS load generators and their environment cannot be exposed or is internal, we do offer an on-premise load generator solution for this kind of testing. So instead of deploying all the environment in the cloud, we only deployed the control components, and the load generators will be deployed inside the customer environment and will be only reporting an outbound in a secured port for the customers who can't open their internal network to the cloud. So let's go over on a few key features that StormRunner support and provide. From the testing angle, we use Amazon and Azure locations, where we also support IP whitelisting or on-premise load generators for customers who can't use our load generators in the cloud. From the integrations angle, we support open source such as JMeter and Jenkins, for example. And we recently removed the beta from the Splunk, and you can also use it in your StormRunner tenant. From the license aspect, we support virtual users and virtual user hours, and from the analytics, we support the ClientSide Breakdown report, network virtualizations, and other features. As you can see on this slide, we have many integrations, and I encourage you to sign up for the trial and start using StormRunner Load. We have opened almost all features in the trial, so you can start working and using StormRunner Load. As you can see, we support Bamboo, Jenkins from the DevOps side, New Relic and Dynatrace for monitoring and other additional measurements. We have the JMeter protocol also integrated in StormRunner Load. As you can see on the top right corner, we are planning to add AppDynamics integration as well, and we keep adding more and more features and integration to StormRunner Load. So let's go over on what's new and what we did in the last releases. So from the cloud perspective, we increase our support to 5 million concurrent users. We add an option to run on hybrid mode, which means that you can run from the cloud and from your on-premise or Docker LG, or our solution for the virtual private cloud that use your Amazon account. And you can combine those load generators to run a test at once. We also improved our upgrade mechanism to the on-premise load generator, and in our last release we add an option to specify load generator per script. From the digital side, we had a support in Selenium, in Vuegen MQTT, which is an IoT protocol, and of course, we improved our support in LeanFT scripts. For the one of you that are using the functional scripts, a functional tool, you can use your script as is in StormRunner Load. From the DevOps angle, we improved our support in Git. We launched a new integration with Bamboo plugin, and of course, in the last release, we removed the beta from the Splunk integration, and now you can export some of your logs in live streaming to your Splunk account to better analyze and investigate issues during in the online dashboard. From the data perspective, we add a transaction grouping, basic trending, real-time breakdown, and of course, we recently launched a new beta, the analysis model feature, which will bring you more comparing and analyzing tools, similar to what LoadRunner and Performance Center have today, the analysis tool. This is only a beta in this stage, and we keep adding more and more features. From the performance engineering, our bread and butter, we add support in Vuegen 1255, Citrix, and Oracle. We add more features that will help you connecting and running a test if it's an IP spoofing or improving our on-premise load generator. We add more options from the user behavior and from the user administrator to delete irrelevant test runs, to display scheduled runs, and of course, another great feature that we recently added is the ability to run vuser as a process. So let's go over and start a new test in StormRunner Load, and I will be able to show you how quickly and how easy it to use StormRunner Load. So this is the landing page. This is the StormRunner Load dashboard. As you can see on the right widget, I have the recently worked on. In the middle, I have my latest runs, and on the left widget, I have the quick start. This quick start have the option to create a new test, or if you don't have any script, you don't know how to use Vuegen, you don't familiar with JMeter or other open source, you can create a new script from scratch by using those three options. You can create one using a HAR file, a REST call if you have, or a few REST calls in a CSV file, uploaded to StormRunner Load and start running a test pretty quickly and easily from those three options. At the bottom, you have the Get Tools option to download our on-premise load generators, our SRL agents to connect to your Dynatrace or Sitescope, and many more tools that we offer and provide, also including the Jenkins, the Git, and the Bamboo plugins. In this section, which I very recommend to go over, we have all the StormRunner tutorials. We keep it short and simple, so you will be able to see and learn how to use most of the features in StormRunner Load. So I want to show you the test definition dialog, the test definition screen. So once I click on this button, I will go to the to create a new test. I want to show you how I created a new test earlier. So I want to go over this test, so you will be able to see and have more examples regarding how to create a new one. So let's go over on all the tabs. Let's start with the general tab. After you add your name and the description of the tests, you can choose the license mode, if it's at a virtual user hours or virtual users. You will have the option to add vusers. If you check this checkbox, you will be able to add users during the run. So you will be able to add more load during the tests. You can delay the start up to 60 minutes. If you want to stream the script errors log to Splunk, our integration with Splunk, you can check this checkbox, connect your Splunk account, and during the test you will be able to see the script error logs. In this option, the enable multiple IPs, you will have an option to simulate up to 30 IPs from a single load generator. We recently add those two options. The first one is to group transaction by the same name. If you have a few scripts with a similar transaction name, you will be able to group them to better understand and to better analyzing. And of course, the enable script assignment, which allows you to assign a script to a selected on-premise load generator when you are using, of course, an on-premise load generator. Let's go over the scripts tab. So in this section, you upload or use a script that you already add to StormRunner before. So we'll have those two buttons. The first one is to add a script from the assets, and the second one is to upload a new script. Once you upload a new script, it will automatically saved in the assets list, so you don't have to re-upload it over and over again. So for example, if I want to use one of my scripts, I will click on this button and I will have this dialog. I can use the labels if I want to label a few scripts to make it more easier to maintain and to find it if I want to use it. For example, I will choose to add those two scripts to my test, and I just click on the add, and that's it. Those two scripts will be added to my test. So as I mentioned before, we recently added the Vugen MQTT support, the IoT support. So this is the name of the script. We have two ways for scheduling. This is the first one, the simple one, where I can set the amount of vusers, the start time. The start time, the ramp up, the duration, and the teardown, and where I want to run the test, if it's cloud or an on-premise. If I will open this option, you can see that the checkbox for the manual scheduling is here checked. So in this manual scheduling, I have the option to set the interval and the amount of users that will ramp up during this interval. As you can see, for example, if I will change it to 10 seconds, you can see that the time of the ramp up is changed. Same thing goes for the tear down. High in our plans and is to add the real world scenario, the advanced scheduling scenario, where you will be able to add more ramp up and ramp down to the test definition, similar to what we offer today in LoadRunner and Performance Center. In this button, you will have the runtime settings. We don't have all the runtime settings that are that exist in Vugen. We have the most common and the most that are in use, but we are keep adding more and more options to the runtime settings. We have many more options in those buttons. I encourage you to sign to the SRL trial, to the StormRunner Load trial, and try and use StormRunner Load. We keep adding more and more features to StormRunner Load. In the Monitors tab, we support today 4 types of monitors that you can use in StormRunner Load. The first one is HPE, formerly HPE, now is Micro Focus Sitescope on cloud, which is free. We have the Sitescope on-prem, and those two that are third-party, the New Relic and the Dynatrace. We are planning to add AppDynamic really soon. The first one, which again is free, and it's require an easy installation. It works on a Linux machine, and during the test you will be able to see your AUT basic metrics, which are CPU, memory, free memory, and other, which allows you to start digging and to investigate. And again, it's for free, and it's really easy installation to start using it. So earlier I said I created a new Sitescope Cloud asset, so I will use it to our test, so you can see how quickly I can add this to my test after the first installation. Moving on to Distribution tab. In the Distribution tab, I can choose where I want to run the test, if it's on the cloud load generators, if it's an on-premise, or if I'm using private cloud. I can edit the locations. We have many locations all over the world. If you are missing a location, you can contact us, and we will do our best to add it to our locations list. I can add one location, I can add multiple location, and also I can combine and from the Amazon and from Azure locations. So in this test, I choose to run from 4 different tests. In this distribution, I can select the amount of percentage of users that will run on each location. In this section, the network virtualization section, it's for free. You don't have to purchase more or additional license to use it in StormRunner Load. We have the 4 common profiles in StormRunner Load, which simulate from the mobile busy, it's the worst network that is available, from to the one good, which emulate the best network that there is offered today. You can set the amount of percentage between those to start using the network virtualization feature. Moving on to the SLA tab. In the SLA tab, in each script you have, if you have a transaction, you will be able to set the SLA per transaction. You can change the percentile. We support 4 types of percentile, and again, we have many more features and abilities regarding the SLA tab that you can try if you are using StormRunner Load, and if not, I encourage you again to sign in for the SRL, the StormRunner Load trial for 30 days with almost all the features in StormRunner Load available. In the ClientSide Breakdown tab, we offer today 3 client-side breakdown features. The first one is the NV Insight, which at the end of the test will give you a report, the client-side breakdown report, that can gives you more details and information regarding the client-side experience. You will have grades and recommendations how to improve your application behavior, using the script that you selected to get all the information. In the transaction response breakdown, you can choose up to 5 scripts, and this will simulate during the online result. You will start seeing results and breaking of the TRT from the client perspective, the client experience, and you will get widgets and more graphs to use during the test. In the Schedule tab, you can predefine to run a test similar to a timer. You can schedule a test to run later in a particular test. In the project management feature that we also have in StormRunner Load, and I will not be able to show it in the demo, you will have the option to create multiple projects and to use one tenant with multiple projects, to share assets, to share scripts. The administrator of the project of the tenant will be able to see the status of all the load generators and all the scheduled tasks and tests that the tenant contain. In the Runs tab, you will have a quick access and more information regarding your tests. You can see the last 5 runs, the top 3 regressions and the top 3 failing transactions over time. In the bottom of this tab, you will be able to see all the runs from this particular test. You will be able to access the dashboard, the report, to export to CSV, and if you used the client-side breakdown report, you will be able also to access it from this quick launch button. Also, in the latest release, we had an option to hide. For example, I have here some kind of an error, and I want to not to calculate the test results. I can use this button to delete the test run, so it will not be calculating in all the statistic and information that I have. And as you can see, I hide this failure test, this error test, and in the project management, also the administrator will have the ability to see a view of all tests, including those that was deleted in a specific project. We also recently add the Trend tab, which allows you to see the trending of the TRT. You can specify the number of the runs to compare. You can set a date range. If you want to compare it between dates, you will be able to see here spikes and regressions and other more comparing metrics. And of course, we are planning to add more metrics to the trending, not only the TRT, and to add more options to use the trending tab. So moving on to the let's see the online and the offline dashboard. So I will go to the Runs tab and choose, for example, this test. Just before we will move to the dashboard test, I want to go over the benchmark. I can select one of the tests to be my benchmark and to be able to compare it inside the dashboard. So for example, in this, I will check this checkbox for the benchmark. I will access this test dashboard, and I will be able to compare all the metrics with this benchmark. So those are the 4 default widgets that I have in the dashboard: the running view users, the hits per second, the errors, and the throughput. In this button, I can group by the widget. In this tab, in this button, I can also do all the filter and change the data according to the filter. From the gallery over here, I can add more widgets according to the tabs. From the client side, I have the hits per second, the errors, and many more. In the transactions tab, I have the all the transactions aspect, and I can also add them to the dashboard. I choose to run and add a monitor to this test. So over here I can add all the information regarding the AUT that I monitored, and also I check the checkbox for the transaction response breakdown. So in this script I have 3 transactions, and I can see all the client experience during the tests, as you can see from this widget. So more options that I have in each widget is to merge 2 graphs to a single graph to better analyzing. So for example, I can add the running V users to the hits per second. As you can see here, I will have the 2 widgets on a single widget. I can compare it to benchmark. So I'm comparing now the throughput from this run to this 297 run to better analyzing. I have the anomaly detection, as you can see over here. If I'm breaking some SLA, then I will have a warning over here with the description where and when the SLA break happened. If I have some anomaly alerts, I will see it over here in this notification area. Script errors, of course, that I can integrate directly to my Splunk account, and LG alerts in case I have issues with my load generator. Also in the dashboard, I will have the time picker, the timeline, that I can choose a specific timeline, a specific time to better analyze. And for example, a very common use case that we have is that customers setting a specific range of time, and they will be able to, with this button, to add this snapshot to the report, to better analyzing and better sharing issues if they occur. Let's go to the report tab. In the report, I have a summarized report of all the tests. You can see below the custom snapshots. I had 2 custom snapshots, as you can see here, that can be used in the tests. I have an option to export to PDF, Word, CSV, of course, and because I use the client-side breakdown report option to analyze to use one of my scripts and to get more information and data, I have an option to export the NV Insight. I encourage you to sign up for the trial and to use the client-side breakdown report. It's a report that gives a lot of information to the user. The recommendation are really simple and will help you to improve your application performance. You can see that in each transaction that I have, I can enter the report and see grades and recommendations. Again, this is a great tool to start digging in and start improving your application. Moving on to the Assets tab. As I mentioned before, each asset that you upload or defined or configured in StormRunner Load is automatically joined to the Assets tab. If I'm uploading a new script, if I'm creating a new monitor, setting load generator, and so on. In the scripts, I have the ability to reload the script. So instead, for example, this script, I'm using this script in those tests, and if I change, for example, the IP of my AUT, so instead of re-uploading it to each test one by one, I can reload it, and all the tests will be updated. Of course, if you are using project management, all the assets can be shared between projects. In the Results tab, I have my latest results, the status of the results, and of course the quick launch buttons over here. And we recently add a new feature. It's still in the beta phase, which the new analysis. In the new analysis, you will have an option to dig in and to get more results of a single scenario. For example, if I will go to this test, I can choose to compare all the 7 latest runs. In each test run, I can compare any metric that I want. So you can, for example, if you released a new version and you want to compare it to the latest version from the hits per second aspect, you can choose to add the hits per second from this test run and to add this test run and start comparing and digging in. Again, you have the timeline option. You have the option to dig in more and see more results. You can see you have the zoom in option and many other more options that we keep adding. We can't. We started and released this analysis in our latest version because we got many requests from customers that, especially load runner and performance center customers, that want to use the analysis tool that they are familiar. We can't add the analysis tool to StormRunner Load. It will take us 2 years, and I don't think the results will be sufficient enough for you, our customers. So we took all the experience that we got from the analysis tool and all the feedback and requests that we got in the last 2 years that StormRunner Load exists, and we are starting to add them to the analysis tool. So we encourage you to start using StormRunner Load. We rely on your feedback in the analysis tool and also in StormRunner in general. I can say that StormRunner is built most and most of the features are from the customers' request that we get. So if you are missing a feature or one of the feature definition you think that is missing, please contact us regarding this issue. We would love to talk and hear from you regarding all the features and the issues that you find or you are missing in StormRunner Load. So thank you for your time, and I encourage you to use StormRunner Load. Another great feature that we have is the StormRunner Load Help Center. You can find almost all answers to all your questions, including video tutorials in our Help Center. You have the URL over here, or you can just write in Google StormRunner Load Help Center. We have a free 30 days trial in StormRunner Load where you will have almost all features available for you for 30 days with enough license to start using and also all our tools. The ViewGen, for example, to start recording is also available in the StormRunner Load account. So thank you, and back to you, Lior.
Thank you, Israel, for this great demo, in-depth review of StormRunner Load. I hope you all enjoyed, took notes, and paid careful attention to what we've been up to for the past 3 years and recently. This recording will be published in our YouTube channel in just a few days, and You are all welcome to sign up for the StormRunner Load trial, and please send us any feedback that you have to plv_cost@microfocus.com. Thank you all. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye now.